had this program entering our 5th year and have only had one participant return back to jail.
It just really helped me when my kid was so traumatized for me going to jail and getting picked up and everything, and so scared of me going to jail or whatever, not being able to see me, to him being able to come here and like have just one-on-one with me and stuff like that, that like helped that process, I guess, you know.
There'd be times where I would notice a parent was in jail. I would let the school know ahead of time and just be like, hey, just be on the lookout to see what the kid's feeling like today, because it might be a rough morning or things like that. So I felt like the more outreach I did, the more that people were aware of the program and the more helpful it could be.
To have just that designated hour of just me and my kid reading books, coloring stuff, or playing games, or just telling good stories, like that really helped me. And every week, that's what I looked forward to, being able to go and do. And I'd go back to the block super happy. It gives you hope. Like hope that you're gonna be able to see your kid, or just whatever support, whatever's gonna keep you going, some kind of like inspiration to actually better your life and to quit coming back to here, you know. When I was a kid, I didn't have that. My dad was in and out of jail with addiction and stuff like that. So I didn't get to have those experiences with my kids. And even though like I was in jail and it was a negative situation that I was in, I was still able to turn some kind of positivity into it and, you know, show my kid that whatever. And then my kid seen me from being in jail to literally now I'm trying to help people and give back and stuff like that. So he's seen both sides of everything.
I learned and how I needed the culture to change, not only with my organization, but I see it changing throughout the state and in the country when it comes to children incarcerated caregivers.
It helped my son go from worrying about when he's going to see his dad next to knowing that on this day at this time he's going to see his dad, no matter what. He's my sunlight, man. Here, there, you don't see outside here too much, right?
I would say to many of my supervisors as we got further into this, I'd ask the question, who's in my jail? Meaning when I was sheriff, who's in my jail? And I would always get people who did crime, and that's why they're in your jail. And I said, whoa, time out. It's moms, dads, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, neighbors, and friends that are in our jail. And that's how we need to treat them.
Incarcerated mom, she started crying when I brought her back, saying that nobody else, she had been in the system, been to other facilities, nobody else cares that she's a mom. Nobody else treats her like her kids matter, and this gives her hope. To hear individuals say that you are giving them hope is pretty incredible.
So as we grew the program and as we grew the connections between the incarcerated individual and their family members, you could see the impact it was making.
We had a young man that was very young, and you could tell that he had never received like a diploma or a degree or anything, and just that I did it was just all written over his face, like I accomplished something. And the guys within the group start to bond with each other as well, and so they influence each other in a positive way.
As more counties jump on board, so to speak, and start doing this type of work, they're calling us as well and saying, how did you do X, Y, and Z? What worked well for you guys? Exchanging
the ideas from rural county to rural county is super important. This is working for us. Why don't you try it?
It's definitely a change format where they are just soaking up information so they can take it back to whoever's raising their kids, whether it's a wife, a partner, whoever, grandparents, foster care, and they're able to now understand a little bit more about what they're going through and change situations for their children. So they're changing their children's lives.
They love their kids. That is very apparent. They're thinking about their families, 100%. They may move for whatever reason, and if we can get more counties involved in it, they'll find those services and that help. It's a different curriculum, it's a different mindset, and be willing to take a chance. We're thinking outside the box here, right? I mean, we're working on something because what we've been doing hasn't worked. And so let's try this and see where it leads us.
I think a huge piece of our curriculum is emotional regulation, which really addresses the trauma piece.
Right.
How do you regulate your emotions if you've been through so much trauma?
What you see here, if we can have more empty jail cells, obviously that's going to be better for the community.
I want my children to be college educated. I want my children to have every independence and every ability, and I want that for everybody's children. So I think this program speaks to that.
Working with the family on the outside, they kind of learn to, how do I speak to my partner that's in custody and be effective?
I don't want my grandbaby to feel the same way like my daughter, me in and out of jail and out of her life. Even though growing up, I talked to her every day, even in prison, in jail, but I kind of lost that connection between us. Now my grandbaby, I don't want to lose that connection. I want to keep that connection strong.
My hope is that all counties have the opportunity for their incarcerated parents to have a learning role while they're incarcerated. And then also having that piece on the outside. It would be great if parents that are here and parents that are on the outside could co-parent those children, because just because you're incarcerated doesn't mean you're not important to your family, and your family is missing you.
I wish that when I was raising my children, I had some resource to some parenting class like this that I could draw on.
A lot of guys, we all sat down and talked about the program, helped each other with the program. When there's, like, if they're having an issue of trying to communicate with their family or something, we'll talk about it, try to figure out a different route to go about communicating.
When they are talking on the phone, they're not arguing and fighting, but it's more about let's let the kids communicate with the parent, and how do we bring what the inmate is learning into the home.
A lot of guys have, like, doubts, I guess. Want to say doubts, like they don't feel like it's working. Well, pull them to the side and just talk to them, like, don't give up.
Funding for the program, dedicated funding for the program, I would say that. Making sure that there is a piece on the outside so that parent who is taking care of the children, or that if it's grandma or grandpa or sister, whoever it is that has care of the children, helping them. What are they missing? Do they need anything for the children? Are they getting the services that we could offer them?
It makes her feel happy that I'm doing something, especially my daughter. It really makes her happy to know that I'm participating in a parenting class for my granddaughter.
These children and these families are our future. This is an investment. And although one of the parents is already in custody, that's just maybe a bump in the road.
It breaks me down sometimes. It really does. It breaks me down. It makes me sad that that I'm not out there on the street with her, but it boosts me up to make me stronger to know that I am there regardless, that at least a phone call to her puts a smile on her face, just so she can hear my voice.
Evidence-based programs just show that these are the results of these programs.
It's the ground roots effort, and it takes time to develop. And without the funding, without the support, we're still gonna fight. We're still gonna get there. It's just gonna take us longer.
It felt good. Actually, it felt really good. The first thing I did was call my daughter. I was like, I graduated. Everybody was really happy what I did, was proud that I actually did the program.